Welcome everyone. Join us today as we pay tribute to Roberta Flack, a legendary artist with a soulful and unforgettable voice, blending jazz, R&B, and folk with effortless grace. So let's dive in. Roberta Cleopatra Flack, born the 10th of February 1937 in Black Mountain, North Carolina, United States of America. She was zodiac sign Aquarius. Born in Asheville, North Carolina, Roberta Flack was one of 4 children in a musical family. Her father LaRon Flack, a tobacco picker, 1911 to 1959, and her mother Irene Flack, a school cook and church organist, 1911 to 1981, were both North Carolina natives who later passed away in Virginia. The family moved to Virginia when Roberta was 5, and by then, she was already playing piano. Influenced by her mother's church choir work, she was exposed to religious and classical music early on. She often snuck out to hear gospel greats like Mahalia Jackson and Sam Cooke with the Soul Stirrers. Practicing on an old upright piano her father salvaged from the dump and painted green, she picked out tunes on her mother's lap. By age 9, she was taking formal piano lessons while also immersing herself in R&B, jazz, blues, and pop. As a teenager, Roberta's passion shifted toward classical music, and her piano skills flourished. At 13, she won second place in a statewide competition for black students with a Scarlatti Sonata. By 15, she earned a full music scholarship to Howard University, becoming one of its youngest students. Within a year, she was conducting her sorority's vocal quartet, accompanying singers across genres, and assisting the choir conductor. She switched her major from piano to voice while also teaching piano privately and playing the organ at her parents' church, a role once held by her mother. Later, she changed her major again to music education, becoming the first black student teacher at an all-white school in Chevy Chase, Maryland. By 19, she had directed a production of Aida and received a standing ovation for her final exam recital. Roberta began graduate studies in music, but after her father's sudden passing, she left school to support herself by teaching junior high. Over the next 4 years, she held various teaching positions while also working as an accompanist at DC's Tivoli Club, where she played for opera singers and performed blues, folk, and pop songs during intermissions. She soon landed regular gigs at the 1520 Club, singing and playing solo piano several nights a week. Encouraged by her voice teacher to pursue pop music over classical, she refined her repertoire, gaining a devoted following. Among her audience were industry figures like Burt Bacharach, Carmen McRae, Eddie Harris, Ramsey Lewis, and Johnny Mathis. While Washington, D.C. hosted Resurrection City, Roberta performed at a benefit for the Inner City Ghetto Children's Library Fund. Among the audience was jazz pianist and vocalist Les McCann, who was so impressed that he quickly arranged an audition for her with Atlantic Records. With a repertoire of over 600 songs, Roberta performed 42 for Atlantic producer Joel Dawn in just 3 hours. She then recorded 39 song demos in a 9-hour session. 3 months later, she cut her debut album, First Take, in just 10 hours at Atlantic Studios. The album, released in June 1969, featured The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, and her first single, Compared to What, written by Eugene McDaniels. A year later, Roberta released her second album, Chapter 2, produced by Joel Dawn and King Curtis, with arrangements by Donny Hathaway and liner notes by Jerry Butler. The album featured diverse material, including Reverend Lee, by Eugene McDaniels, Do What You Gotta Do, by Jimmy Webb, Bob Dylan's Just Like a Woman, a Buffy St. Marie song, and the Broadway hit The Impossible Dream. Encouraged by Jerry Wexler, she teamed up with Donny Hathaway for You've Got a Friend, earning further critical praise. That year, she also performed in Ghana at the Soul to Soul Festival, singing Freedom Song, Trying Times, and Gone Away. The concert album was released on Atlantic, with a videotape following 15 years later. Roberta then released her third album, Quiet Fire, which she arranged herself. It included the single, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Roberta's early jazz folk albums had limited impact until Clint Eastwood paid $2,000 in 1971 to use song The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, in his movie, Play Misty for Me. Originally from her 1969 debut First Take, the song had never been a single but gained attention after the film's release. It soared to number 1 for 6 weeks, cementing Roberta's status as a major artist. On April 22, 1972, Washington, D.C. declared Roberta Flack Day, celebrating her success with receptions at the Kennedy Center and the Congressional Caucus Room. At a banquet attended by over 500 admirers, she received multiple honors, including gold records for First Take, Quiet Fire, and her chart-topping single. She capped the night with a 45-minute concert at the Lincoln Memorial. Atlantic then released Where Is the Love, a duet with Donny Hathaway, which went gold and stayed in the top 10 for 2 months. On May 6, her fourth album, Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway, was released. On March 3, 1973, Roberta set Grammy records with First Time Ever winning Record and Song of the Year, while Where Is the Love won Best Pop Vocal Duo. Her single Killing Me Softly with his song topped both the pop and R&B charts and went gold. The album Killing Me Softly was released in August, certified gold in 2 weeks, and dominated the charts. The following year, Killing Me Softly won Record and Song of the Year, plus Best Pop Vocal Female at the Grammys. Her next single, Feel Like Makin Love, hit #1 across multiple charts, becoming her 8th million seller in under 3 years. Released in 1975, it was her first self-produced album. Roberta continued touring, recording, and producing. In December 1977, she released Blue Lights in the Basement, her personal favorite. In early 1978, her duet with Donny Hathaway, The Closer I Get to You, topped the charts and went gold, as did the album. In 1980, she completed Roberta Flack featuring Donny Hathaway, featuring You Are My Heaven, a crossover hit. That December, she co-produced Live and More with Peabo Bryson. The following year, she composed and produced the soundtrack for Bustin' Loose, starring Richard Pryor and Cicely Tyson, featuring singles like You Stopped Loving Me and Just When I Needed You. In 1981, Atlantic released the Best of Roberta Flack, featuring 11 songs that shaped the past decade of music. She then recorded I'm the One, with producers Ralph McDonald, William Salter, and William Eaton, yielding singles Makin' Love, and the title track. Her second album with Peabo Bryson, Born to Love in 1983, featured the hit Tonight I Celebrate My Love. In 1984, she appeared on Japanese saxophonist Sadao Watanabe's Rendezvous, singing If I'm Still Around Tomorrow, and Here's to Love. She also contributed Goodbye Sadness to Yoko Ono's Every Man Has a Woman Who Loves Him, earning critical praise. That year, she toured England. In 1985, Roberta returned to Atlantic with People on a String, from the White Nights soundtrack. She performed live with symphony orchestras and toured Japan twice in 1986 to 1988, once with Miles Davis and the Crusaders, and again with Tokyo's Japanese Symphony. She reunited with Miles Davis at the 1987 Toronto Jazz Festival and performed for 225,000 fans in Washington, D.C., with Marvin Hamlisch and the National Symphony. Her album Oasis featured contributions from Marcus Miller, Quincy Jones, Ashford and Simpson, and David Sanborn, among others. The title track became a #1 R&B hit. In 1989, Roberta toured California, Japan, and Hong Kong, headlining shows with Patrice Rushen and the Duke Ellington Orchestra. She released Roberta, an album of jazz and blues standards, featuring her own arrangements of classics like The Thrill Is Gone, Sweet Georgia Brown, and Let's Stay Together. The album earned a Grammy nomination alongside legends like Frank Sinatra, Barbra Streisand, and Tony Bennett. She also hosted Brunch with Roberta Flack, a weekly radio show airing in over 30 major markets, offering insights into the music industry. She also released the Christmas album, and collaborated again with Peabo Bryson for Disney's Beauty and the Beast, the Enchanted Christmas soundtrack. In 1998, Roberta performed alongside Madonna, Elton John, and Sting at Carnegie Hall for the Rainforest Foundation benefit. That year, she also toured Japan and made a guest appearance with the Muppets on Sesame Street. On June 10, 1999, she received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and later performed in South Africa, where even President Nelson Mandela attended her concert. Her legacy was honored in VH1's The 100 Greatest Women of Rock and Roll, ranking her among icons like Tina Turner and Aretha Franklin. In response to 9/11, Roberta joined Nile Rodgers' We Are Family project, directed by Spike Lee, promoting unity. She released Holiday in 2003, blending seasonal classics with her signature style. At the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards in 2010, she performed Where Is the Love with Maxwell. Roberta was a key influence on the quiet storm genre and reinterpreted songs by Leonard Cohen and the Beatles. In 2012, she released Let It Be Roberta, an album of Beatles covers, including Hey Jude and Let It Be. She had known John Lennon and Yoko Ono, as they were neighbors at the Dakota in New York. Plans for a second Beatles tribute album were mentioned in 2013. At 80, she recorded Running for the documentary 3100, Run and Become, with music by Michael A. Levine. She continued performing into her 80s until illness forced her to retire. Personally, in 1966, Roberta married jazz musician Steve Novosel, but they divorced in 1972. A later marriage to Stuart Bosley also ended in divorce. She had no children but was the aunt of professional ice skater Rory Flack and the godmother of the late musician Bernard Wright. Beyond music, Roberta was deeply committed to humanitarian work and mentorship. In 2010, she established the Roberta Flack Foundation to support animal welfare and music education. In 2019, she awarded grants to Anasar Troutman's Shellectricity and filmmaker Carol Swainson. She also founded the Roberta Flack School of Music at the Hyde Leadership Charter School in the Bronx, offering free, innovative music education to underprivileged students. After suffering a stroke in 2016, Roberta returned to recording in 2018. However, in 2022, it was revealed that she had been diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, known as motor neurone disease in the UK, which left her unable to sing. Sadly, on February 24, 2025, Roberta passed away at the age of 88 after suffering cardiac arrest while en route to a hospital in Manhattan. And there you have it. Though Roberta is no longer with us, her contributions to music are undeniable. Her voice, her artistry, and her emotional depth have left a lasting impact. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into legendary artists. Take care and bye for now.